Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into the Sports Buffoons, the boxing show. Let's talk sports together for game one recap. We were on the ground yesterday with Mr. Bodkins joining us here in Kansas City. And let me say, it was a cool experience, very cool deal, very unprepared for. But I think the NFL was very unprepared for our experience too. But there's a lot for us to talk about. So we're going to give you guys a little bit of a recap of what went down yesterday for us, and kind of see what the preview will be today. So, Mike.
Yeah, it was a good experience, man, for sure. But I think that's true. The NFL underestimated the Kansas City's ability to drink alcohol, and the beer tents were few and far between. I felt like, but no, the experience itself was just badass, though, for sure. I mean, it was cool to have it here, and I think we fit in pretty well with the NFL draft crowd, and things went down. The Fall Out Boy was awesome at the end of the night and all that. But I think we had a good time in general. Kind of, we went downtown for a few minutes, got to hang out down there, and we got some free beers along the way. So that whole part was awesome. So, anyways, Nick, I'm curious what your thoughts are on just draft in general. Yeah.
So I think it's pretty fun. It's lines of beer were long, expensive, but I mean you kind of know that going in. Towards the end, I started browning out a little, so I don't really call it full out of that. And shit, man, we met Channing. I about said Channing Tatum. Channing Taylor. We had fun. Fred Taylor last night. The guys from the Pivot, super cool. They were cool. We walked up to him, set us up, and that was cool. So, I mean, shit, it was a good time, man. It was can't party with y'all, that's for sure.
Yeah, we stayed up a little late for sure last night. That's why I'm wearing the sunglasses right now. But so the draft in general, though, like as far as the way things unfolded, are we surprised at all by anything that went down? I told you guys before the draft. You asked me what to expect. I said lots of trades and lots of shit that we didn't expect to have happen. And for me, that's kind of the draft every year.
Yeah, but definitely. I mean, to me, that's what happened. Like once we saw C.J. Stroud go 2 to the Texans, and then them trading back up to 3, because they're going in, so like, what are they going to do at 2? Like, is it Stroud? Is it Levis? Is it Will Anderson? Is it anybody, everybody? Those are all smoke screens, and C.J. Stroud, but didn't see them trading up to get 3 up to 3, and so kudos to the Texans for getting both the guys, both for the same one.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Will Levis did not get drafted in the first round. It just goes to show you that those cognitive tests don't really mean shit, because CJ Stroud still went when he went, and they didn't think as highly of Will Levis as they thought. But yeah, Fall Out Boy, I enjoyed that. I was going to try to ask you guys, how much do you think the NFL paid them to do that show? Because that had to have been like a couple $1 million, right?
Yeah. So if it's like the Super Bowl and shit, they don't pay their performers. Yeah, they don't pay. So I'm assuming like Fall Out Boy, tonight's Motley Crue, and that. But I don't know who Saturday is. The person never heard of.
Thundercat.
But we also got to see Lizzo sing the national anthem, so that was cool.
So they don't get paid. They
Yeah,
do it for free.
Yeah.
So they do it for free. It's so they make less than we make on this show. We actually have an income.
Well, we got to actually get paid money to be on the show.
That's true. No, the other thing that surprised me too was the running backs started to go a little bit earlier than we thought.
Yeah,
And then there was a delay on wide receivers, and then all of a sudden they went bang, 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 3 in a row. So yeah, it was very interesting. I love that atmosphere. Certainly happy it didn't rain, although I know there's rain in the forecast for today, but happy to stay dry. And well, didn't stay dry in some place, got hammered, but didn't get wet.
Yeah, I was more shocked at the amount of offensive tackles that in the first 15 picks than really anything. Like Houston trading up, awesome, great job. Like that's what you should do in that kind of franchise. Is go get yourself some winners. But I think the offensive tackles Like just the amount going in the top 15, no wide receivers, the top 15, it just blew my mind there. But that's what you get. We need to protect your guy. You need to protect your quarterback. Those guys went out and got a guy that hopefully that can protect.
Yeah, I want to talk about Felix for just a minute, guys. You guys know this is a Kansas City-based show, of course. We're all Chiefs fans here, except for our boy Nick over here. But no, I think the Felix DK Uzama pick was pretty awesome. He's a guy I've been following now for the past year. Gone to some K-State games myself, and been hanging out there a little bit. And I liked a lot what I've seen of him just going out as a fan and watching him in person at K-State games. And seeing him, I always had a feeling he'd go late first, early second was my idea for him. And he's going to fit in very, very well. So this is a thing where he's not a project player. He's going to be a day one starter on the outside and make an impact right away. I believe he's got long arms and he's kind of your prototype. He can do everything well. He's good at rushing the passer as well as stopping the run. And that's the kind of guy that the Chiefs like a lot on the edge.
I think it's going to be what Casimiro is supposed to be. And that, Casimiro's developed over the year, the year before he was in New Orleans. But I think you're going to see a more defined product with that. So,
Well, what I would like to see, I'm hoping he can be, our next Tom Bahali. That's the kind of guy that, we loved here in Kansas City. And I would just like to see him be a consistent year-to-year kind of guy. Give me, 10 to 12 sacks per year, somewhere around that range. And I think it's gonna be awesome, right? Because I think, this is a team that having Carl Loftus take some time to mature last year. We didn't want to have that happen over again. We would have got him to step in right away and make an impact. And I think he's going to be somebody that just does exactly that. And because of the loss of Frank Clark and the loss of some other guys on the D line in the offseason, he's going to get a lot of playing time right away, you guys. I think he's going to be good.
and it was the position that we needed here on the Chiefs. Like it was a depth deal that we really needed, and it's a guy that can sit there and start right away. We got Jeremy out here. What's up, Jeremy? Thanks for coming and doing. So, but
Yeah, I love the Felix pick. I mean, at the moment, I was sitting there kind of hoping for Joey Porter Jr.
Joey.
But the positional thing didn't make a whole lot of sense for us. So we were I felt like we were kind of desperate for more help at defensive end. So I was kind of happy that they went that direction.
Yeah, for me, I mean, like the Packers is a typical fucking Packers. Like, I mean, let's just be real. I wanted Jackson or tight end. They went later, and we got Luke Van Ness, defensive end. Hey, it's not a guy from Georgia, but another defensive player like we've done in the last 10 drafts. It's amazing how great our defense hasn't been in these first round defensive picks. Maybe it's time to fire Joe Barry. Yeah, you think, we get a new quarterback, let's give him a new weapon. No, same old Packers, same stinking shit.
Yeah, they got to figure something out, man, because you got Jordan Love, who I think has a lot to be shown so far. Like, we don't know what to expect out of him, and the things we have seen are a little underwhelming. So, I figure, you guys took some receivers last year in the draft. Maybe they're thinking, okay, we'll keep developing Christian Watson, Amari Dubs.
But who's after that? We don't have anybody after that. There's not Samari Torre. Is the third wide receiver. After that, you got a couple of Buffoons.
There's a lot of good tight ends in this draft, though. I will say that. So
yeah,
that could be on your radar.
Yeah, I do. I like obviously from Paul. Laporta from Iowa would be good. He could go second or third round tonight. So we could, we have 2 seconds. So we have our the Jets second and our second. So we'll see. Maybe we'll draft another receiver or something. We need to tackle. We need a good tackle. Bakhtiari's getting up there too. We need some O-line help to help this kid as well.
I want to ask a question. So you asked me last night, who was the most obscure jersey we've seen out here in the draft? And I did see an Amon Green yesterday,
Oh God,
which was kind of cool. Otherwise, which do you guys see one that stood out to you that was interesting?
I mean, you saw a punter jersey. Townsend was out there.
Well, Tommy Townsend has got a new contract. I mean,
Well, like this is before the contract. It's had to be before the contract, right?
oh, maybe. I mean, he's probably had that jersey for a while. But, there's Colquitt jerseys out there, too, because he used to be the MVP of the team.
That's true.
Back in the day.
Because it was up to his leg for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I might have been a little drunk, but I'm pretty sure I did see a fair hooker jersey out there.
Fair Hooker.
I think what was that? Atlanta Falcons. I don't know who the hell he played.
This Malik Hooker.
Maybe that was it.
Maybe.
No, I just enjoyed to see. I've never experienced anything like that because I've never got to see every single team represented, even though still kind of felt like a sea of red to me because mostly Chiefs fans out there. But it just I thought it was awesome to see every single team represented and all the jerseys.
Yeah, I think every time we were like, yeah, I can see this team, and it was probably like 10 minutes later we would catch that team. I mean, we saw a Herman Moore jersey. I think that was probably the Mark Chimura, like it was kind of a jersey. So then that guy was like, you know what he got in trouble for? And I was like, yeah, fucking around with some chicks in a hot tub. Like, it's like, yeah, pretty cool story. I was like,
And I think we decided that the LA Chargers have the least amount of fans out there in the crowd. I mean, that's kind of
well,
what
I don't know. I saw after we saw didn't mention it. I saw like 3 or 4. Maybe I didn't see a whole lot of Commander fans. Like
Oh, that's right.
I'd say,
The old Washington football team.
yeah.
I mean, for me, like, I think the Rams fans were really in attendance. The Bucks are as well there because I did see some commuters. I saw
Bills Mafia.
I saw a lot of the Chargers guys, but yeah, Bills Mafia wasn't really in attendance either.
I didn't see a whole lot of Browns fans out there. I saw a couple. There's a couple Nick Chubb jerseys,
They
but
Yeah.
didn't come out to that.
a dog fan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I saw there's a couple. I did see a Dolphins Tyreek Hill jersey out there.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw every team
yeah.
represented out there.
No.
At least by one person.
I think we saw this.
I think they're gonna go to those logos that we saw, and they flash them up on the screen. You think they're gonna go to those? Like, are those gonna be? Are they trying those logos out?
No, I think some artists want to put together some ideas and like some kind of knockoff logo, or whatever for the draft. So I think that's all it is. It's not a thing. I don't think they're going to be using that going forward by any means.
They're pretty cool. I think
Oh, yeah.
the Titans one was cool. The Buccaneers one was pretty like. If I was a kid and I saw that logo, I was like, oh, that's probably my favorite team just because the logo is cool. So
Yeah, and we saw some chrome helmets too. We were walking through a little bit. Like I think one day the NFL needs to do like a chrome week, just like everyone wears like a chrome helmet and like
That's
some
safe.
some kind of crazy jersey idea.
It's
Like,
unsafe.
I don't know. It's something. Mix it up at some point. You know, as time goes on.
yeah, I thought it was cool. But they have a lot of stuff. I mean, if you're thinking about bringing your kids and things like that, it's definitely kid friendly. Too, like they have a lot of fun stuff. You know, I'm not just drunk yahoos. But if you're gonna do family shit, they had a lot of fun shit for.
Yeah, if you wait in line for 20 minutes, you can get an ounce of crown apple. Free. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a wait. By the time you get one drink and get back in line, I mean, you thought you were drunk at all. I mean, you're sobered up. It's keep going back and forth. You can through.
Got a couple comments here. Jeremy says, I like the kid on Northwestern. Regarding Felix, still we can get Chiefs. Yeah, look, I still think like you could have not gone wrong between that Northwestern kid or Felix or Joe.
Well, this is different because I think Felix is more of your prototype deep in.
Yeah, he's a little big.
Yeah, he's gonna fit well on the edge, and he's gonna
Something that we
keep
need
the system. Yeah,
really nice.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to today, man.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah,
talk
I was looking forward. Well, first of all, speaking of Jeremy, I was looking forward to that Titan Steel move up. So
Yeah.
didn't happen. So you know, it's awesome.
What do you expect now from D Hop? I mean, is he staying put? Is he going to get released? I mean, I figure he's got to be out at some point. But I don't know how that's going to happen yet.
Why cut him? Like he's the best one of the best receivers in the league.
Half reasons, I guess, if it means anything.
Up against the cat, like might as well just keep him. I mean, keep him. You got hit in Hollywood Brown. Colt McCoy is your quarterback next year because Kyler's out for half a year. New coach, new GM. See what happens. I mean, it's all smoke screens, right? Like the Ravens. We didn't talk about before the draft. Lamar's a huge deal. It's a 5-year. What was it? 185 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jason.
Yeah, I really don't see DeAndre Hopkins getting cut. I think you're going to see some movement on that thanks today because to me, I mean, he's worth at least a second, third round pick. I mean, I understand that they would cut him if they had to, but like to me, there's still tremendous value there. I think somebody would offer a deal at some point today.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't go today, it's a done deal. Because I mean, we heard rumors with Baltimore, we heard rumors with the Titans, we heard rumors with the Chiefs. Like it's a done deal if it doesn't. Like he's saying if it doesn't happen today. I don't think he gets going if he do that. I think the Lamar deal pretty cool. That happened right before the draft. That kind of solidified where Baltimore is going to go in the draft. The way they went. So I don't. They could have possibly, being a quarterback there, second, third round. Now they don't have to. Thank God for guys signed up. So, great deal for Lamar and great deal for the Ravens.
So Tanner, real quick, just for the day as far as the Chiefs concerned, got two picks, round two, round three, obviously. Receiver is still an issue right now in this team, but I would like to see be addressed. I mean, we got one piece addressed that we needed at a position of need. And now on the board, you still got Jalen Hyatt, Downs is still available as well. And of course, or Jonathan Mingo as well. He's still out there too. I mean, the Chiefs don't pick though until late, obviously last pick of the second round. They're going to get a receiver here. It's going to have to be a trade up situation. So, I mean, I would just say don't be surprised if the Chiefs do trade up, roughly 15 picks to get the receiver of their choice. Because you can't sit back all day and wait and then get left with nothing to pick from.
Yeah, I'm really so my hope here is actually more down. That we trade up and go get him. So the guy.
Right. So Jonathan Mingo, according to my list here, he's the ninth best available player. Jalen Hyatt, the 20th best. But either way, yeah, if I'm in Chiefs organization, I've got to fix that wide receiver position. I'm going after one of those two guys by trade up.
Mike, you said something in the beginning. I just counted 15 total trades, and that includes the Bears Texas trade. I was looking through the draft order. There's 15 total trades that happened in the first round last night, and that includes like Aaron Rodgers and all that. So like total 15 picks trades were made from the end of the season. What the draft order is going to be to
That's a lot. I mean, I remember, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't see nearly this many trades go on at the draft. And it seems like to me every year now, it's like these mock drafts are such a waste of damn time, you guys. Sitting here and trying to put together, like, we're slotting in, like, who's going to go to what team and all that. It's nonsense. I mean, we use it to fill time in the offseason. I get that. But none of it's ever accurate. I mean, who would have thought Jahmyr Gibbs was 12th overall? And, just
the Lions.
to the Lions, yes, to the Lions. It's fun to mess around with. I get that, but yeah, the 15 trades in this year's draft, that might be a record. That's definitely out there quite a bit, but that's why I said like it's unpredictable, and also no point in trying to waste time trying to predict too much of it. Chris Collinsworth thought that Hendon Hooker would go to the Chiefs. I mean, that was a real opinion that he had out there.
I think he was wrong.
He probably was either drunk or high. I don't know, but it was,
I've been those two, and I wasn't taking Hendon Hooker to the Chiefs.
maybe just stupid. I don't know.
I saw something. My buddy sent me a Snapchat. What they're talking about right now on first take is should Aaron be mad at the Jets for taking offensive line, outside linebacker, and non receiver? Are you kidding me already with this bullshit? Like, they just got. That doesn't make sense. They didn't need a receiver. They have Garrett Wilson. They have Al Lazard. They have Elijah Moore. Like, do they really need a receiver? No, their defense is still good. Why not add another good piece to it? Because you look at Mosley, he's older. Like, they got some older guys. Like, they needed some defense after. Now you got Quinn. You got the linebacker they drafted last time, and then Sauce last year. Like, that's a good 3 cornerstone defense that we're gonna have.
Yeah, their offense looks great on paper. I mean, Brees Hall should be back, being 100% hopefully. And the receivers that there, obviously we lost Mecole Hardman to go over there, and Alan Lazard, which was a former player of them in Green Bay. So it's like there's gonna be chemistry there with Rodgers right off the gate. And these receivers are excited. You guys follow them on Twitter or on, like they're all pumped about having Rodgers throwing them the ball because they know Zach Wilson ain't it. It's not things.
Well, they went from JG throwing the damn ball to Aaron Rodgers. So
You just never know, though. I mean, like a guy like Zach Wilson, he can sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years, maybe he'll get his shit together. Yeah, no, I thought that great. I thought it was a great trade overall. I think the Packers got really good value. Obviously the Jets got what they want, so excellent trade.
That's gonna be a great situation. All right, so when we predicting here from the Chiefs, day two, are we expecting wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I think you kind of have to. That's the expectation. As of today, we walk away today with a receiver
Okay.
in one of the 2 rounds that we got picks out of right now. But don't be surprised if there's a trade up.
So you're saying that possibly you get third round pick?
Well, yeah, I mean, one or the other. I mean, we can take one in the second. I'd prefer taking one in the second. Third round can be available for basically best player available. That's what the Chiefs do.
I think I'd expect to trade up, but I think we need a receiver and possibly some secondary. What do we expect from the Packers?
No,
Kicker?
we could use Kinger Mason's old, so that's probably I'll take that. Jets big. Let me ask you guys this: 2 quick questions here. First, who was your guys? It's like, hey, I didn't like kind of reach, and then Mike, like you're the big fantasy guy, so like reach on to the Falcons, like well, that's a home run, right? Because we know Arthur Smith loves run football.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about fantasy, I care about volume. That's what I care about the most is how many touches is a guy to get because touches equals points and yards and touchdowns eventually. And so, yeah, Bijan going to the Falcons, they're going to run the ball a lot, you guys. They're gonna run his ass on the ground. So I mean, I would expect at least 300 touches between both receiving and rushing this coming year. But don't forget, guys, they got a running back on the team from last year also that made an impact as well.
Algier.
Tyler Algier. So I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a duo, but I think the receiving back is going to be Bijan. He's got the better hands of the two. So yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, the thing is about running backs right now in fantasy and all that. This Jameer Gibbs thing is a little confusing to me, but you got to expect you go 12th overall. There's going to be a lot of balls thrown your way, a lot of touches, and maybe that means that they don't really believe in the longevity of Dalvin Swift using that role. I don't know.
So for me, Jameer Gibbs was the reach. Because that defense on the lines last year was bad. They couldn't stop anybody. And yet, now you build offense again. After you have Montgomery, Gibbs that's their stuff. But I like the save flyers. No, who went to the Vikings? Addison? Yeah.
Go guys.
Jordan Addison picked the wide receiver to the Vikings. That just lost Thielen, right? And I think he'd be a great complement to that 2-3 spot for that team there across from Jefferson. And I think that's right. That's who I like the fantasy role this year now is Addison for the Vikings because you know they're going to throw the ball.
Yeah, going back to Jameer Gibbs just for a moment, I definitely think it was breach. Although I understand why they did it, because you have a quarterback like Jared Goff, he needs to have a decent running game or he's going to fail. Like we've seen that past. So I think they're just trying to shore up that running game, make sure that Jared Goff can stay effective.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he was most effective back when Todd Gurley was pounding the rock with the Rams out there. So that's probably a good point. But the way I see these running backs being used, I mean, it's hard to say who's going to really stand out as actual running back of the group at this point. But I think that the Lions are an interesting team. They probably needed more help on defense. Probably the route they should have done. I mean, hell, Joey Porter Jr. is still out there. He probably should have got 12th overall instead of Jameer Gibbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's a wide range. I understand, but
I mean,
that's
they
team itself.
did get Jack Campbell inside linebacker, which they needed at 18, and he's a perfect Dan Campbell guy. He will bite skinny cap socks. So.
Yeah, they need guys like that on that team.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, Jason, you got anything else to say, man? I'm just looking forward to the day and getting it rolling.
Yeah, just going back to Detroit again for a second. I mean, they could win the division because right now, but they've got the best quarterback in the division. So, in my opinion, I know a lot of people think Kirk Cousins might be better, the Vikings roster might be better. I think Detroit's got a solid chance to win that division.
Yeah, I would pick them right now. I mean, it's still early, but I would probably say Detroit probably wins the division. Like that whole division's they're all kind of rebuilding, and so it's just like who's gonna take it? Like I think the Vikings are gonna come back down to earth.
Green Bay needs to start tanking. That's what I would.
I take and take Caleb Williams next year, baby.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'd rather be dead last than mediocre, because then if you can
Yeah.
get a higher pick next year is what I.
There was a time in this city when we were saying suck for luck. And then we ended up winning too many games and we were all pissed about it. Yeah, we ended up finishing that season like I don't remember, somewhere around 500, you know. And it was like and then Colt's gonna get Andrew Luck and all that. But yeah, man, I agree with you. I mean, if you're the Packers right now, it's like don't finish, 7-10. Like you want to finish freaking 3-14.
Yeah, I'd rather finish 3-14 or 10-6 in the playoffs. Like, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think I'm going to be very mediocre. I didn't want to say like my only complaint about last night is like it took like they were like 2 picks behind. Like like it would be like the pick is in, and then but the other team is like it's like they need to speed up the process a little bit. I don't know if it's for TV wise or what it is, but like like if the pick is in, get that on stage and let's get it going. Like I felt like 2 picks behind on it.
I think it is a commercial thing. I think, because they're waiting for the cameras to come back on basically and then get out there and announce it. Because you'd see like there would be times where Goodell would come out and then 1 minute later come right back out again to catch up.
Yeah.
Just because I think they were live at that point on camera. But I think there was those commercial breaks were getting in the way. It's kind of delaying things for everybody. So yeah. Otherwise, I mean, it felt like you were kind of out there like at a concert, but
Yeah, it was a good time. So the atmosphere is good. The everything was. I mean, there wasn't like any like. We almost saw a fight, but that was about it. And then that's it, man. It was good atmosphere. All NFL fans coming together in Kansas City, and we saw all teams represented.
There's no drug busts because everything apparently is legal.
Yeah.
It's legal.
they can bring in whatever you want. It was a venue.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. Like they definitely understand.
Oh yeah, they needed. So I would like to see them like like more food options.
Yeah.
Like instead of like all the way at the back,
Yeah.
have them more up where the draft is at would have been nice to
Like
times that.
up, you know.
Yeah, just a couple. They had all the tents on the very back.
Yeah.
They only had the one where you had what's it, fried ribs, pork rinds.
Yeah, but I will say the food options look cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't
it's-
eat there. We ended up getting an awesome ride downtown for free. And that was kind of
It was
cool.
walking back.
Yeah,
So we were lied to.
Yeah.
we got dropped off and then left down there to fend for ourselves. But still, we got down there and we got some cheap food and drinks too, and then made it back in time. So that part was kind of fun.
Yeah.
That guy. We got discriminated because we have both working legs, so we couldn't ride the cafe.
Right. So they told us we were not supposed to have gotten that right in the first place. But I was like, have you seen my special friend Tanner?
They said he's mentally challenged, not physically challenged.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad looking back on it, but you get fucked up and drunk, those sorts of things do happen.
I feel bad. The guy offered us a free ride.
Yeah.
You're not going to take. You're going to take one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they promptly fired him.
That's his own fault. He should have known that.
All right, guys. We're gonna get this thing up here for everybody some spiritual and Watkins. I'm sure you'll see them here in a couple days. In the show, right?
Yeah, on Sunday. But yeah, on Sunday I'll be back in the lab on Sunday. So I got to recover from partying with you guys last night. It's going to take me probably 2 weeks to recover. But I'll be back.
Yeah, there was a moment you were standing there, man, and your eyes went down.
Yeah.
And we were standing next to one of our friends, Stephanie, and she was just like, "You were asleep, weren't you? You were sleeping, staying up."
It hit me right. It hit me pretty good real quick. So hey, after that though, there was a little power nap in. Again, waiting on like 30 minutes. I felt like forever.
That's what the draft needs: sleeping pods.
Yeah.
Like, you rent a sleeping pod somewhere out there. They're $10. Give me 30 minutes.
Yeah, you'll come back. You won't miss a pick. You know what I mean? So yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I get told a lot that I party too hard sometimes, so but that's what I do.
Well, last night you were the one wanting to go all night, man.
I was still doing it.
My dinner was a bag of chips.
I was
So
ready to go.
I was like, yeah, I didn't feel too bad with it. So.
I felt pretty.
I feel good. Like today, what's our plan today? We're gonna have some lunch here, then
So
maybe
we're
go down to
gonna-
Boulevard.
Yeah, so we're having some lunch here. I've got RUC. We're gonna go down to Boulevard after that. And then we'll figure it out from there.
We're gonna probably walk from Boulevard.
Well, yeah, it's like a two.
Yeah, it's not too
It's
bad.
not bad.
It's not.
I mean, we walked the same amount yesterday.
Yeah, to get up there and
Downtown.
yeah.
I'm not overly concerned here, but I think that's the plan today. We'll meet up with a few more friends as well.
Sand Club was welcome to Davis Boulevard. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you're out there listening, come join us at Boulevard. I'm sure it's gonna be a shit show over there.
We'll be there probably about 1:30. So, but expect,
might see some NFL players down there. You never know.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I was about to get drafted myself, if I was in town for that, like, I'd probably go to Boulevard and get hammered.
There's probably not a lot of like players down there now.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. So. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We'll try to do another show tomorrow on top of our in the hoops because there is NBA playoffs. Finishing up the first round here, so we do have some stuff to talk about tomorrow. We'll figure that out all out later on. So, everybody, have a fabulous day 2 of the draft, and we'll talk to you guys later.
That's right. I'll see you guys in the next one.